what we will be doing, and this is how these conversations work, we'll be throwing live in a moment to our guest, and as you can see from the screen behind me, Minebea, Intec are our innovation partners for this conversation, if you like. We're going to see a short VT, a short video, just to set the scene. Then we're going to throw over to the Minebea Intec stage where Louise and Derek, I think, are just going to give a quick demo of what it is that they're showing. And then our friend Peter Walker, who is the UK leads for Minebea Intec. I'll get that job title right in a moment, I promise, when he comes on stage. He'll be joining us on stage, and then we'll have a bit more of a conversation and have an opportunity for you to pop your questions to Peter as well. That's the plan for this, so why don't we start off with a quick video just to set a little bit of the scene. Tyler, take it away. There we go. You can get in touch with Minebea Intec there, or you can stick around where you can get in touch with the actual Minebea Intec people to answer some of those questions. But yes, we're talking about the next generation of checkweighers, and in particular, that blue HMI. I think what we're going to do now is go down the line to the Minebea Intec stand where we have Louise and Derek. I hope there they are, here to tell us a little bit more. Louise, over to you.
Thanks, David. Yes, I'm joined by Derek, who is the project specialist here. And, well, we're going to go through what's happening behind us, why we're down here at the PPMA show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it's been a great show so far. We've had a lot of really good leads, good contacts. So, yeah, we just want to have you look around the stand, show you what we're doing here. We've got inspection equipment and weighing equipment that we're showing on this PPMA. So we'll start with the X-ray. So this particular X-ray is our smallest footprint X-ray, just 1 meter in width. You won't find a smaller X-ray here at the PPMA, that's for sure. So this is designed for ready meals, confectionery, that sort of thing. Obviously, it does what it says on the tin, it X-rays, it's looking for foreign body contamination. But in addition to that, we can also do volume evaluation and completeness checks. So, for example, it can look for missing biscuits in trays, that sort of thing. It comes with a full reject system, which is full code of practice. So that's the X-ray. Over here.
Fantastic, we'll come over here. Wonderful, thanks Derek. What have we got here?
So this is our Mitre metal detector. So this is new as of last year, and it's really a step into the world of AI, because what this does, it takes away the biggest issue with metal detection, which is product effect. A variable product, like a frozen product or a high salt content product, metal detectors really struggle with. But with the technology we have in here, we're able to move away from that product effect, reducing false rejects and basically giving a greater sensitivity and detecting smaller and smaller pieces of metal. Then to my right, we've got our vision system, and what this is looking at label verification and seal inspection. So this is a 3-camera system. We have a camera above with an infrared light below, and that's looking at the seal around the map pack. We have a second camera at the top, which is looking at the label at the top, and that's looking at the position of the label in relation to the pack. And then we have a camera at the bottom, which is looking at the base label, and that's got OCR, character recognition. It's checking the date code, checking the barcode. Again, this can have a full code of practice reject, and we can integrate this into lines or above an existing line. Then over in the corner.
Right, all right, let's continue our tour over this side. What have we got here?
This is our static weigh price labeler. We've got over 100 of these that we put out in the field over the last 3 years. Catering butchers, fish companies, basically it does what it says on the tin. You put a product on, it throws out a label, and they label it. It's got full connectivity. You can put batch labeling on here. You can have second, third printers. A fantastic HMI. This is also the same HMI that's on our auto labeler, which we're not showing here today. But if you'd like to come and see it, we do have it next door in our demo room.
Fantastic, so that's over in the demo room as well.
So
yeah,
we're
brilliant.
just at Birmingham Business Park, where we have a full demo suite there. We invite customers to come in, bring their products in. We can do full testing. We can run their products through our X-rays, metal detectors, and do a full evaluation. It works really, really well. And then finally, the star of the show, the blue HMI. So this was brought out last year, and it has just been an absolute roaring success. The basis of the Checkweigher are what they were before, which is a full hygiene spec with, you can see, no flat areas. It's designed to EHED standards. We have a EMFC load cell, which is a very fast and very accurate load cell, and then we have the HMI itself, which Peter's going to go into great detail on. And that's us here at the stand.
Amazing. Derek, thank you so much for taking us through everything that's going on at the stand. All right, David, back to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Derek. Thank you very much indeed, Louise. So there we are, a flying tour, if you like, a whistle-stop tour of what's happening over at the Minebea Intec stand. Back here, we've got Peter, who's been standing there patiently. He's got some more detail to show to us. Give it up for Peter, Peter Walker, everybody, from Minebea Intec. Thanks for joining us, Peter.
No problem.
So you've been told that you're going to be going through a little bit more detail,
Exactly.
in particular the blue HMI. I think you've got the flicker
I have,
there.
yep.
What have you got to share with us?
So what I'm going to show you, as you saw there going around the stand, you know, Minebea Intec are known for the range of inspection products we've got. And one of the real focuses, which can really help our customers, is to help them gather data and control their processes. And this is what Blue HMI is about,
Right.
and this is what will apply to a lot of our machines going forward. The focus is the Flexus Checkweigher that you saw there,
Yep.
and I was just going to show a little bit more via a couple of slides, because the screen is so small it's really difficult to see on the stand. But if I look here, as you saw, it's the next generation of Checkweighers, and we've got a wide range of products there, and you can see they all look a little bit different. They've come
Yep.
from some legacy products, and what we're trying to do there is to streamline this and make the use of any Minebea product going forward much more uniform. So you use one, you instinctively know how to use the other. So it's called our Blue HMI. That's its name. That's the name we're trying to get out there at the moment. And I need to move to there we go. So three of the phrases we think best describe this interface is that it's efficient, it's compliant, and it's connected. And this is what we're helping our customers to achieve by using it. So we have a range of Checkweighers within our portfolio, and all of them are able to run with this Blue HMI. You see there are various different looking type Checkweighers. And the reason that you have a Checkweigher is clearly to weigh your product, but these are just some of the things too that a Checkweigher can do for you. They control your quality assurance, they make sure you comply with regulations,
Yep.
they reduce your waste and your giveaway, they help your process become more efficient, And we're trying to do all of these things, including traceability and data management. We're trying to do that more easily for the customer with our Blue HMI. So if you look, like we said, intuitive interface, it's a very modern look to it that people are now used to using, and you have a side pane there that will get you to the area you want to go to. You have boxes highlighted in red when you need to enter information, and it guides you through the process with very simple icons. So if you're trying to set up some new data, it's a very simple process to follow.
I will say that over the last 10 or 15 years or so, we've got used to using consumer technology devices. I'm thinking of an iPad, other tablets are available. So I think we've kind of got used already to using these, and with those, generally we don't need instructions. They are simply enough laid out that even my mum can use one of those without me being tech support on the phone. And it suggests to me that that's also the thinking that you've applied here. This kind of universality, something with which the users will already feel familiar with the product.
Certainly, and certainly for the next generation of Checkweigher users coming through, this is what they're born with and used to. So again, lots of different intuitive screens there to do with setting up products, setting up the parameters to which the Checkweighters work. Mechanically, it also gives us the option, because it's a nice thin display, we can mount that in various ways so that it can tilt, it can rotate, so it can be at the right level for the operator's usage, even in a slightly different location to the Checkweigher, if that helps the layout of the factory. And of course, what we want to do is give our customers the maximum control of their process. What we've done, the main screen that you will see while you're running the machine is this one. And it immediately tells you whether you are above, below, or on your target weight. And that's a super important thing. That's the important part of having a Checkweigher in the first place. What we've added to this screen is giveaway, which is super important, and is live. The display is telling you live exactly how much product you're giving away, both in a percentage and in a grams format. It's also looking at the effectiveness of your line. So it's telling you that your overall effectiveness of the line is, in this case, 22%, for example.
And it could, for example, be telling you of a problem further on, or further back, rather, in the line, saving you money.
Yeah. Right. You're set at 100 pieces a minute. You want to know if 100 are coming. If they're not, this tells you instantly. So it's a very good visual to see straight away. Equally, you can see here again, icon-based a little bit, and when we move to this slide here, you can see it's telling you instantly whether you've accepted products, whether you've rejected too many, what your throughputs were, so it's all right there, including at the bottom of the screen, the most important thing there, what your average currently is. If you're giving too much product away, your average will be too high. It's all about controlling that process, making you efficient.
And just a question here, is this on an operator by operator basis? So if you've got operator A using this Checkweigher at one point and then operator B using it in the next shift, for example, with the data that you get back from this, could you maybe come in with some user training intervention because operator A maybe isn't being as efficient as they might be?
Right, and we definitely know that's one thing with the database setup. We can assign a role and a unique password to each operator, so we can track who that is. We can even then set the preferences to that operator's preferences, so we can change their language. We can have an operator log in and see the screen in Polish if that suits them.
Good.
Overall equipment effectiveness, like we said, that's one of the things that it's really going to show you, and that's real time on a Checkweigher screen. A lot of people have dashboards in other places, a lot of people go and calculate this, but to see it in real time straight away while you're setting up the Checkweigher is a really good indicator to have. It equally, you saw Derek on the stand there show us the meters metal detector, which was another new product of ours recently. This allows us to integrate it into a combined Checkweigher metal detector, which has several unique features for us. We're a manufacturer that manufactures both parts of that, both the metal detector and the Checkweigher. So that means we can control them both from the same Blue HMI. You can see on this screen that on the left-hand side in the green box that it's telling you when you next need to test your metal detector to make sure that's compliant. And at the same time, on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that your trend of your weights is going down a little bit, you need to turn your filling machine up. It's all there on one screen, a truly common interface. That also allows us to go into the settings for the metal detector. We can control how it's set up, what it does, when you need to test it. Very flexible to suit both our customers and, more importantly, their customers' requirements as to when they need to test and prove that everything's working properly. So we can also do things here like display the weight in a volumetric manner. A lot of people in the dairy industry would like to do that. So you weigh a 200 milliliter bottle and you know that it weighs 300 grams, for example. So that can all be seen all on the same interface. Additionally, to become efficient, it's capable of controlling the filling machine automatically. And this graph shows you how it might make the curve, you can see the curve dropping off towards the end of the graph, and this is where the machine would take over and control the filling machines, so that you're absolutely giving away the least amount.
And that's the benefits of that integration across different systems on the line, isn't it? That you do have that visibility and therefore the control.
Yes, absolutely. And it's all about all of those things. And once you've got your the maximum control of your process, connectivity that you just mentioned is super important. And what you can see here, this is a little bit of how we've evolved. And there were some connectivities that first you needed a big PC somewhere, then maybe a smaller one that was embedded into the machine. Now, this is kind of like you just plug your cable in the back, it's all in there. It's much more connective, it's much more, there's so many different systems out there, and we're able to connect with so many more, including PPMA, which is a very new format that's really becoming an industry standard, and it's it's controlled by the OMAC, and it's to link packing machines together. It's becoming almost like a standard language. It's a packing machine language. So we're already set for that with this Blue HMI, and you can see here just some more examples of the other types of connectivity, whether it's Ethernet IP, whether it's connecting to our own software packages. So it's brought it completely into the modern world. And of course, if you want to keep an eye on what you're doing, you can transfer to a tablet type device, access it via a browser, and see exactly what you're doing remotely. So it really brings us in and beyond the modern era. So that is why this Blue HMI is all of those things.
Good stuff. Thank you very much indeed for running us through the presentation.
No problem.
Just going back to the beginning, you mentioned efficient, compliant, and connected, and I wrote that down before you then went through, just to make sure that you were covering off all of those bases. And I think that we spoke to the efficiency piece very, very well. You can see how efficient you are or are not being, and then introduce whatever intervention further back on the line or operator training, for example. Connected, you demonstrated that at the end, obviously. Just coming back to the compliance piece, I think you mentioned one or two pieces in there with regards to foreign body detection, for example, and how frequently you're monitoring those. Are there any other hot areas of compliance at the moment? Because, as we know, regulations are changing. Absolutely. They also vary from market to market sometimes. I wonder if there's anything else to say on the compliance piece.
Maybe there is, yeah, absolutely. So really, when you think about it, the other main job of a checkweigher is to make sure you are compliant to, for example, the packaged goods regulations, that you have that you meet all of the 3 packers rules, and that's something the checkweigher is always doing in the background anyway, so you know that by weight your pack will be compliant. If it isn't, we've also got the opportunity to reject it, of course, which is another function of a checkweigher. On top of that, we have a lot of fail-safes. We will be checking that the pack has been rejected, we'll be tracking the pack through the process, so all of these things we know, and they will be both there to test any type of failure, and to prove that everything is compliant, whether it's rejection rates, whether it's the average weight, and then it's all there in a report at the end. And that's another thing you can take from Blue HMI, is reports based on the production to kind of prove that. Okay.
I just want to ask if anyone around the floor has a question. Obviously, we've been seeing in action as well as seeing the presentation there and the wise words from Peter. Does anyone else have any questions before we bring our conversation now to a close? Which suggests to me that you've answered all of the questions and you pitched your presentation and the demo spot on. any other business, is there anything that we haven't covered in the conversation that we've had over the last 20 or so minutes? And where can people find out more? What's the availability and where can people find out more?
Well, first of all, we're at stand B52, just straight down the corridor from here. Our offices are based across the road in Birmingham Business Park. We have a full demonstration suite there. And the answer is we have a full range of solutions for many things. We do static weighing, vessel weighing, all of these inspection equipments. So we've got a full range of experts available to come and answer your questions, find you the right solutions. So we're always available to help.
Well, thank you for being available to chat to us here on stage for the last 25 or so minutes, and
No
indeed
problem.
to the rest of your team for help setting up the demo live back at the stage. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the Minebea Intec team and indeed for Peter up here on the stage.